'Tis the season to nominate all of your friends for the Winter Clothing Challenge. Hello, I'm Kiersten McDonald.
And I'm Cali Montana. Ever dream about dinosaurs coming to life? Well, the Franklin Institute can make that wish come true. We have all this and more coming up on LTV News, where the action never stops.
Hello and welcome to LTV News, where we bring you everything from 20th and Olney Avenue, Philadelphia, and the world.
There's a lot to catch up on the next half hour, as Kiersten McDonald got to sit down with Senior Coordinator for University Ministry and Service, Regina Gauss, for this week's interview. So let's hear the buzz around campus.
The Winter Clothing Challenge has begun. Hosted by LaSalle's Feed Philadelphia organization, this challenge allows everyone to give back this holiday season. You can donate any type of winter clothing such as jackets, hats, gloves, and socks. You can also make a cash donation of $10 that goes towards purchasing new clothes. Once you support the cause, nominate other people to support it too. All donations will go to the DePaul House of Germantown and the Serenelli House of Kensington.
LaSalle has gone into the holiday spirit through the Christmas Toy Drive. These toys will help benefit local children from the Church of New Hope and Faith, Logan Powell Center, the Neighborhood Nursing Center, and many more. Tree locations are set up around campus at the library, dining halls, Union, and the chapel, making giving very convenient. Gifts are due by Friday, December 2nd.
I love how much LaSalle is doing for the holiday season. It's very LaSallian.
Yeah, I just love the holiday season. You know, I just wish we would all give more, even like when it's not the holiday season, like come on people, like let's give.
But that's what's great about LaSalle is there's so many service opportunities, so it's a lot of fun.
It is.
All right, make sure to save the date this holiday season on Thursday, December 22nd. From 2 p.m. to 7 p.m., LaSalle student Antoine Chambers is giving back in a different way and is looking for some help. Chambers and the Health and Awareness Ministry are sponsoring the Camden Blood Drive known as Leaders Save Lives. The blood drive is located at St. Baptist Church Hall in Camden, New Jersey. To find out more information or if students have any questions, they can contact Antoine Chambers through email or phone. If someone is interested in making an appointment, they can do so by going through the Red Cross website and use the sponsor code Leaders Save Lives Camden.
Start brushing up on your bingo skills because Saturday, December 3rd, the LaSallian Immersion and Volunteer Experience Group will be holding a Coach Bag Bingo fundraiser. This will support the LaSallian Immersion and Volunteer Experience students and their various community service trips throughout the year. The doors will open at 7 p.m. for all of LaSalle community to come and win some designer Coach bags. Tickets are being sold for $35 general admission and $30 for guests under the age of 21. Each ticket includes 14 games of bingo, refreshments, and a Coach prize for each round. Additional prizes such as 50-50 contests, raffles, and other small games will be rewarded throughout the night.
I got the chance to sit down with a fellow LaSallian to discuss the various service opportunities LaSalle has to offer. Here it is. Hi everyone, my name is Kiersten and I'm here with Regina Gauss, and she's in the studio to talk about her position with the University Ministry team. So Regina, can you please tell us what you do here at LaSalle?
Absolutely. I work in University Ministry and Service on the service side of things, overseeing all of the student-led service initiatives on campus.
Great. And what's your favorite part of that?
I really love working with our students and watching the development as they uncover social justice issues and see how they can be a part of the solution to those problems.
And what are some of the opportunities, service events and stuff that you guys run for the students here at LaSalle?
We have a number of different ways for students to get involved. We have over a dozen programs that operate on a weekly basis or that work on advocacy programs. So that could involve going to a home for people living with HIV/AIDS, it could be tutoring and mentoring. We have many other programs that work in soup kitchens and those types of things that students are familiar with working from high school. We also offer about a dozen service trips. They're the LaSallian Immersion and Volunteer Experience, where students commit to an academic year worth of preparation and then go on a trip dealing with different social injustice issues. The oldest one of those, Project Appalachia, just celebrated its 41st anniversary.
And I know that application process for those immersion trips is pretty competitive. Can you please speak on what the application process is and how you guys choose which students do get to go on these trips?
Absolutely, it's a complicated process. The application process starts in September, and many of the trips then choose to interview all of the people who applied for their process. Every student who applies, they're given the opportunity to apply to 2 trips, and then we jokingly refer to it as Selection Sunday as we figure out who is the best fit for each trip, because it's not just about putting together a team of students who are really interested in one experience, it's how can we all grow from this experience together.
Great. Have you ever gone on a trip with the students?
I have. I'm a LaSalle alum, and so I participated in Project Appalachia as a student. I coordinated as a student, and then I also participated in a trip called the Chile Project when I was a student, where we spent 3 weeks working in a shantytown in Santiago de Chile. Wow. Since coming back as a staff member, I've been lucky to participate in a number of trips. I've served on trips where we've traveled to Guatemala and the Dominican Republic. I was on the first 2 trips that traveled to the Blackfeet Reservation in Montana and worked with the Brothers School there. And I've also been able to return back to Project Appalachia. We run a 3-week-long trip to Kenya, and I was able to participate in that trip as well.
So what's the difference between participating in these trips as a student at LaSalle versus now as an adult working here?
As an adult, it's a very different experience, because at this point I have a lot of experience doing these types of trips. Watching students discover things is a really fascinating experience for me, and being there to be a guide, but also to participate alongside the students is a really powerful experience for me.
That's great. Now I know that the ministry team does a lot more than these service trips. Can you speak on what else you guys do? I know that there's also long-term service fair that you coordinate.
Yes, we just hosted our long-term service fair. We had over 30 organizations come in from across the world to recruit LaSalle students to be part of their organizations. We had small groups that were from local Philadelphia working in public health, and then if you were interested in public health, we had groups working in Africa and throughout Latin America as well. We have a number of students who, after choosing to graduate, or after they graduate, they do choose to go into long-term service opportunities.
And these are focused for students once they graduate senior year, correct?
They are, but we have had students who decide to take some time off in the middle of their academic studies and do a gap year to really help them narrow down what it is that they want to do once they graduate.
And are these long-term service opportunities, do they vary in time and duration?
They do. Long-term service is a catchphrase for anything from about 6 weeks length up to as long as 2 years.
Wow.
If you participate in the Peace Corps, for example, it's a 27-month-long commitment. But we have other programs where you can go and you can serve for just the summer. Many of the AmeriCorps programs, which is like the Peace Corps but it's domestic, those are year-long commitments.
Okay. Now I actually got the chance to attend the long-term service fair, and there was a great turnout. How does that feel to see the students get involved and feel passionate about all the service opportunities here?
For me, it's personally very gratifying. After I graduated from LaSalle, I did 2 years of service with AmeriCorps, and I know that that time was instrumental for me in my life in helping me figure out what I wanted to do and the type of impact that I could make. And I know that for many other people who have those types of experiences, it was instrumental for them as well. Right. So for me, there is a very excited part to see them taking this step, and also a bit of jealousy because I know just how much excitement and opportunity they have ahead of them.
Now, I know you're a LaSalle alum and you were a political science major here. How did you make the transition over to ministry and service as a career?
I absolutely see them as intertwined. Okay. I received my master's degree in public service, and one of the things that I enjoyed most about that degree program is that we studied the dynamics of social change. And politics is one way to affect change, but grassroots change is a very different way of approaching those same problems. And so what I see is that I'm able to inspire students to learn more about social problems and then figure out what their role is in finding a solution and hopefully an end to some of those problems. So for me, it makes sense, but I know that it is a logical jump for some folks.
It makes sense, it makes sense. So what programs do you hope to see in the future for your department, and how have you seen it change over the years that you worked here?
Here at LaSalle, service is always growing. One of the beauties of the way that programs are run through university ministry and service is that they're student-led. So that if a student comes to us and says, I have a really great idea for a program, what can we do to make it a reality? We work with them to find the partners and to help find the student volunteers to make it work. We have a program that works in high schools mentoring students to go through the college process, especially students who are first generation. And that came directly from a student saying, I think this is something that we need to be doing.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. So a lot of our viewers actually aren't even LaSalle students. They're people in the Philadelphia community. Is there any way that community members can get involved? And can you kind of speak on what LaSallian service means?
Sure. Here at LaSalle, because we are a Christian Brothers institution, we are really tied to the LaSallian values of faith, service, and community. And so one of the ways, especially for people in the LaSalle community, to get involved is to get to know the people around them and to be of service to one another. For people who are not members of the LaSalle community, Philadelphia is a very rich city. We're one of the largest cities in the country. We also have the highest level of people living in deep poverty of anywhere in the United States. And so there's plenty of need in Philadelphia and lots of really wonderful organizations that do great work here to address those needs. So you can go to places like, you can even just go to AmeriCorps.gov and you can do a search saying, I'm in Philadelphia, I'm interested in this type of work. And it can show you the very different types of organizations that are available to do any kind of work, whether it's something as simple as putting together a food drive or helping people do their taxes come tax time. There's plenty of opportunities.
And lastly, how would you tell a LaSalle student who's interested in the service opportunities here to find out more? Where should they go?
You can reach us easily at lasalle.edu/UMass, and it will give you a list of all the different programs we have, and also feel free to reach out to me directly.
Great, awesome. Thank you so much, Regina. I will toss it back to the desk. I had a lot of fun chatting with Regina.
She seems so much fun. She's adorable.
She's awesome. And I loved how she talked about how her political science degree goes hand in hand with service. I thought that was a really great way to look at it.
Very interesting as well. But I also have to say, I love the fact about the gap year, if someone wanted to go do service. I just love how, you know, there's so many service opportunities, but I think being able to do that gap year could really help someone, you know.
Absolutely.
Just give them a lot of confidence. Always feels good to help someone. And, you know, but
I completely agree. It is very LaSallian. That's what my favorite thing about LaSalle is, all the service opportunities, and for them to encourage such long-term opportunities is great.
Perfect timing that she started this, because bingo is coming up, so perfect timing. But on Saturday, November 12th, LaSalle Student Government Association hosted the second annual Fall Philly 5 Conference. Representatives from Drexel, St. Joseph, Temple, and UPenn joined together to discuss and try to resolve issues that were occurring throughout the campuses. Their main issue that they dived into was about the safety of all 50,000 undergraduate students. After the conference, all 5 of the student government organizations came together and released a statement, quote, "Regardless of what campus you are on in the city of Philadelphia, you are valued. We believe in the dignity of every person on campus and in our communities. Our student governments are there to direct you to campus resources that foster safety and inclusion," end quote.
I love this new tradition of all the Big Five presidents coming together to discuss all the issues around campuses, and it's great for them to come together.
I mean, I was able to be there and just hearing, I mean, they were really into it, trying to, you know, just do what's best for the students, think of ways to improve stuff on campus and do whatever they can. So I really liked seeing that, you know, found out some information. I was like, what?
Yeah, but you learned something, I guess.
Some new information I found out, but who knows? But I also got to hear the representatives from the other schools and their takes on how the event went, so check it out.
It's always really great to meet with other students and hear their opinions and how we can better our campuses, and it's really great to have a network of student leaders that we can reach out to and get their opinions on throughout the year.
I learned a lot of stuff that I didn't know about other schools before, and I think we did a really good job of like discussing what we should do at our schools and, you know, in the coming futures and so on.
It was great meeting other student leaders and discussing issues that pertain to their campuses and figuring out ways with how they combat their issues to bring back to our campus back at Temple. So I'm very fortunate for being here.
I think that we have a lot of great communication between the schools, which is great since we're in such similar communities but also diverse. So I'm excited to bring stuff that we learned today to our campus, and I'm excited to see what the meeting will have in the future.
You know, I loved getting to talk to all the different representatives from the school. I think, you know, because we're all like, oh, they're from this school or that school.
There's a lot of rivalries.
Yes, there is. But you know what? They weren't only concerned about their own school. They wanted to try and do what's best for everyone around, and I love that. Community feeling again. I mean, you know, just seeing that, amazing. I love it.
That's
you are all
great.
fantastic people. Thanks for doing that. Thanks for
Yeah,
talking to us.
it's an awesome concept. I really love it.
Amazing.
It is now time for our first commercial break, but when we come back, we'll give you a recap of what went down at the Thanksgiving Day Parade. We will also tell you which foundation just donated $100 million to Philadelphia neighborhoods. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm John.
I'm Eddie.
And we are hosts of LaSalle TV's favorite game show, Q&A.
Hey John, I got a question for you. All right. At what time can viewers catch new episodes of Q&A on LaSalle TV? Is it A, Monday at 6:30, B, Tuesdays at 9:30, or C, all the above?
Is it C?
It is C, all the above.
All the above, wow.
Be sure to check out new episodes of Q&A only on LaSalle TV.
OMG, join LaSalle TV, it's the place to be. What we got is what you need. Come and follow me on a trip through the campus with my squad at the Union and the Union. See my man's Todd at the quad on the hammocks like a savage. He be on the camera like 1, 2, 3, action. Mixing sounds back to back and that's a fact. D1 Sports we never lack. Calm center, almost there, north to south. Man, that walk is never fed. Passing battles straight to Newman. See some kids and tell them join the crew. As we enter the studio with the new recruits. LaSalle TV, enjoy it near you.
Welcome back to LTV News. Philadelphia celebrated the 97th 6 ABC Dunkin' Donuts Thanksgiving Day Parade. The 1.4-mile parade is the oldest in the nation, and to help celebrate, big names came out to be there. Special guests include Ginger Z from Good Morning America, Drew Lachey from the former 98 Degrees boy band, and the Soudertown High School teacher who won the Kelly Ripper hosting competition, Richard Curtis. As always, festive floats and giant balloons wowed the crowd. There was a Cat in the Hat, Curious George, T-Rex, and a special tribute performance to the late and great Prince. Other performances featured the cast from Mamma Mia and Dirty Dancing at the Kimmel Center. It was a fun day for all who attended.
So fun because our very own Madison Elliott was there to work on the Thanksgiving Day Parade.
She's fantastic.
She was up in all the action there. A lot of fun.
So, Kiersten, how was your Thanksgiving?
It was great. It was so good to be home and to see all the family, so it was awesome.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Did you do anything crazy fun or?
You know what? We just kind of stayed home, which is nice. It's a nice little break. How about you?
I went to my aunt's house like we always do. Got to see family.
Fun traditions.
Eat some good food.
Yeah.
So, can't complain.
My favorite is stuffing. All right, so Philadelphia Mayor Jim Kenney certainly had much to be thankful for this Thanksgiving. A sizable donation was made to the city's $500 million rebuild initiative. On November 21st, the William Penn Foundation donated an additional $100 million to the mayor's plan to transform Philadelphia's aging recreation centers, libraries, and parks. The William Penn Foundation, founded in 1945, is dedicated to improving the quality of life in the Philadelphia area. The foundation's goal is to be, quote, a national model for community reinvestment and innovative public-private partnerships, end quote. Their donation was the largest single grant in the 70-year history of the foundation.
Switching to something a little bit different, but if you have a love for dinosaurs, then you'll be excited to know that the Franklin Institute now offers a Jurassic World exhibit where you can learn about these prehistoric creatures. The exhibit opened on November 25th and will remain open until April 23rd of 2017. Tickets are available, but they do vary for the daytime hours and the afternoon hours. During the daytime, the tickets are $35 for adults and $30 for children. In the afternoon, tickets are $20 for adults and $15 for children.
Philadelphia will be getting a new historical museum this spring. The Museum of the Revolutionary War will be in the historical section of Philadelphia, on the corner of 3rd and Chestnut Street, also known as the location of the First Continental Congress meeting. The museum will be split into 4 parts. The first section is called the Road to Independence. This covers the rumbling of the revolution prior to the shot heard round the world. The next concentration will be known as the Darkest Hour. This is about the colonies as they entered a war with the ideals of liberty and independence. Another focus shows the war through the perspectives of civilians during the time period. Lastly, A New Nation covers the challenges of our founding fathers. The Museum of the Revolutionary War opens on April 19th, 2017.
So many exciting things coming.
I know.
I'm so excited. Jurassic Park exhibit.
I'm excited about the Revolutionary War exam
Yes.
because so much history happened right here in Philadelphia that it's great that we're getting this museum.
And I think
to talk
sometimes
about
people, you know, tend to like forget that. And I think it's good. Something new, something different.
Absolutely.
We're going to definitely have to check it out.
Yes,
So,
maybe we'll show it on LTV News come the spring.
I'm excited.
I hope so.
But coming up after this last commercial break, we will take a look at the impact of one man's passing and legacy.
LTV News, where the action never stops.
I love watching LTV News. I love watching LTV News every Sunday at 10:30. I love LTV News producer Dave Roberts.
Before I go to class on Monday mornings, I watch LTV News at 8 a.m.
I love watching Kiersten and Cali on LTV News.
Tuesdays at 10, we watch LTV News.
It's the most natural thing for me to dance, but I was tripping and I was falling and didn't even know what multiple sclerosis was.
When I perform, I really love connecting with people. It's definitely cool to be able to give someone an experience through virtual reality.
Oh my God. I dream sometimes and I see that.
Cuban President Fidel Castro dies at age 90. On November 25, 2016, Raul Castro, brother of the late Fidel Castro, announced the Cuban revolutionary's death in a televised statement. Fidel Castro seized power of Cuba in 1960 and famously defied 10 United States presidents. His slogan, quote, "Socialism or death," end quote, characterized his rule, which ended in 2006 due to health concerns. Castro then handed power to his brother Raul, who is the current Cuban president. The Cuban government decrees 9 days of mourning for the death of their former leaders. The period will end on December 4th with a funeral. During this time of mourning, no public events can be held. The flag must be flown at half-mast, and all television and radio broadcast content must be patriotic and informative of history.
And on the morning of Monday, November 28th, Ohio State University was put on lockdown due to an attack on campus. An emergency alert went out at 9:56 a.m. stating, quote, "Active shooter on campus, run, hide, fight, Watts Hall, 19th and College," end quote. The attacker was a student from the university, Abdul Arden. He deliberately hit pedestrians with a car on the campus sidewalk. The student then began to hit into people with a butcher knife. Arden was killed during the attack by one of the campus police officers since he did not drop his weapon. The horrific nightmare caused injuries to 11 students, staff members, and faculty. The lockdown was finally lifted at 11:32 a.m., but left many people shaken up.
It's absolutely devastating.
I mean, just coming back from, you know, Thanksgiving break, worrying about finals, it really is such a scary world out there. I mean, that was probably the least thing on their mind. I know I have some friends who go there.
Me too.
I was just glad that they were safe and okay.
Yeah.
And just very scary time.
Yeah, my heart goes out to the community members
our thoughts
of Ohio
are with you.
State. So the world's largest water slide is being torn down following the death of a child this past summer. The slide was one of the largest attractions at Kansas City Water Park. The slide's name was Verrückt, meaning insane in German. As its name implies, it was quite a crazy ride. The slide stood at over 168 feet and took about 11 seconds from start to finish. The Guinness Book of World Records declared this to be the largest world slide. The water park company began to catch heat over the attraction after the death of 10-year-old boy Caleb Schwab on August 7, 2016. No date has been given for the demolition process. However, the slide will remain closed to the public until it has been removed.
So Kiersten, what do you think about it being demolished and removed?
I mean, I think it's necessary. If someone died, this is very upsetting and tragic.
Yeah, I mean, you go on a slide thinking, you know, it's such a tragedy, but I think it's a good idea that they're doing. I think needs to be torn down.
Clearly it's not safe,
so,
right?
Yeah, exactly right. But now we are going to switch gears and hear some good news. Jared Silverstein is a strong individual from Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Silverstein is trying to make a difference for his twin boys and everyone else out there who has autism or is impacted by it. Check it out.
Puzzle Pieces Squared is a 100% nonprofit organization created and founded by Jared Silverstein that raises money for multiple local families every year in order to aid in therapy payments, respite care, after-school activities, and much more.
Jared Silverstein, founder of Puzzle Pieces Squared. I happen to be a father of 3 boys, 2 who are on the autism spectrum. The reason why I started Puzzle Pieces Squared is because a lot of families need the help and insurance doesn't cover it. So there's a lot of different things like respite care, therapy, co-pays, life skills management, summer camps that insurance feels that they don't need to pay. Therefore, I created this foundation so that then they will be able to get the help that they need so that their families can become whole.
I got to sit down with Jared to discuss the creation of Puzzle Pieces Squared.
What happened with Puzzle Pieces Squared and the reason why I started it was because there were a lot of things as I was growing up with my kids that insurance wouldn't cover or that co-pays were too high. And a lot of times people move to New Jersey because they feel that the services are great, but what they forget is if insurance doesn't cover it, it doesn't matter how great the services are. So I started saying, you know, there needs to be a service out there. There are services out there for research now. Autism Speaks is great, but it's research. It doesn't really help the families right now. Right now is what people need. So I said, okay, and I started a 501c3 to help out families, 4 families a year, every year.
Puzzle Pieces Squared was created from parents trying to build a better life for their children, as well as a father's love for his sons. Puzzle Pieces Squared is about helping the people who need answers but are unsure of where to find them. So please, spread the word and help make a difference.
Beautiful story. Oh, beautiful boys. I loved it.
Yeah.
Melted my heart.
Very heartwarming. Well, that just about does it for the episode, but be sure to find us on the web as well as the rest of LaSalle TV Facebook. We love to hear your thoughts, so tweet at us using our Twitter handle and start the conversation.
If you missed the scoop and want to see it, you can find episodes on YouTube on our LaSalle TV Philly page.
Until next time, for Callie, Dave, Corey, Madison, Steve, and the entire crew, I'm Kiersten McDonald. Thanks for watching LTV News, where the action never stops.